Hi, everyone. Hey, George. Hey, Jill. Each week, our team crowdsources some of the most interesting things we found across every corner of the internet, adding a little insight from our respective roles in creative, research, insights, strategy, planning, and digital work. So as curious thinkers, we like to go the extra mile by capturing our perspectives on one of the week's most interesting topics, and we call it Drop. So let's drop into the conversation today. We're going to kick off with an old video that one of our team members shared about the initial feelings of artificial intelligence from anime founder Hayao Miyazaki. And it's interesting because this video was put out 6 years ago, and his initial feelings were that it was an insult to life itself. It's funny because 6 years later, we're still kind of having the same conversation and hearing about Elon Musk's open letter to take a pause on artificial intelligence and look at the ramifications of what it's doing to society and our culture. So Jill, I'm going to open up to you and ask, what do you think about what's going on, and what are your initial feelings on everything?
Yeah, so in regards to that letter, I mean, there's some big names in there and some big technology names that are, saying we're taking this too far, too fast. Let's pause, figure out, ramifications, where we're going with this, what that means. And then there's obviously the other side of, innovation moving forward. So I do agree with both sides of the coin on this. I think innovation and growth are inevitable, but are we taking it too far? Are we becoming so reliant on technology that we're almost forgetting what it's like to be human, or what it means to be human? So automation in all of its forms has been useful for saving time, resources, all those things, which are great. But at the same time, it has kind of removed the need for, basic thinking, innovations from the human brain, even creativity. So you can now have an art gallery with AI generated content and be considered an artist. So me personally, I disagree with that. You're not the artist. The technology that made it is the artist. So we all, generally speaking, have smartphones. So we have the world at our fingertips, yet here we are, the vast majority of us spending a lot of that time watching meaningless videos where we could be learning. We could be the ones advancing the knowledge and growing so much more deeply and intimately with all these different facets of life. But we're just, handing that over to something else to do the thinking for us and the growing for us. So I can see both sides of the coin. I would say I would agree with maybe pausing and reconsidering, where is this going to go? And maybe we should figure out if there's any consequences to that and what that might look like before we continue just full steam ahead with the way we've been going. But
yeah, it is definitely a torn subject. We want to progress our society and progress this technology, but I appreciate some people calling for the pause, because I think a lot of these billionaires and tech companies want to just take an idea and run with it because they have the money to do so. But I personally appreciate the pause, or the call for the pause. George, what do you think?
I think that you can probably argue that technology in general could be seen as an insult to humans. And throughout the history, I think technology has always competed with us. And it's just that AI is kind of, or has been for the last several years, kind of the main focus on, and just the next in line when we look at sort of the wheel and the conveyor belt and just kind of how we just optimized our lives. And I think when it comes to pausing AI, the immediate question that I have is who benefits? I think a 6 months break is at this point irrelevant. I think artificial intelligence is inevitable, and we have to kind of figure out a way to really find a balance with it. And instead of just banning it or just really going all in with it, we have to kind of find a way, how can we make it better for us and society? So I think if those 6 months are really going to make a difference, I highly doubt it. So it's just kind of, we have to work together on it.
Definitely. Well, maybe we take the weekend to go watch Spirited Away and get in touch with our inner humans this weekend. I want to appreciate both of you guys so much for joining in on this conversation, and we'll talk to you next week.